to another crash course in mathematics. In this episode we're going to look at multiplication.
Let's have a look at some multiplication. So we've got 24 times by 3. Let's write it out. 24 times by 3. Notice I've still got my 3 lined up in my ones column. So first of all we do 4 times by 3, which we know is 12. Then we do 3 times by 20, so 3 times by 2 is 6. Add 1 is 7, and there's your answer, 72. Right, let's try another one. We've got 14 times by 6, so write it out, 14 times by 6. 6 times 4 we know is 24. Put our 2 down there. 6 times 1 is 6, because this is a 10, so it's 60. Add 20 is 80, so our answer would be 84. In the next video we're going to go on to some more tricky ones. Okay, so we've got 14 times by 12. We've got a 2-digit times by 2-digit. Write them out exactly the same, lining everything up. First of all we're going to do 2 times this whole number, then we're going to do 10 times this whole number. So 4 times 2 is 8. Then 2 times 1, 2 times 10 is 20. Put our 2 there. We're now going to do the 10 times 14, which will give us 140. And then we need to add these two together to give us our final answer, because we're not finished just yet. So I'll do it up here so you can see. You've got 28. Add 140, so you've got 8, 6 and 1, so it'd come out as 168, and there is your final answer. So as you can see, first of all multiply the smaller digit in the ones column by all this number, then we multiply whatever digits in the tens column, then we add them together, and that will give us our answer. So times, then add. So we've got 23 times by 22. So we put our 23 down, put our 22 down. Again, we do this one first. So we do 2 times 3, which is 6. 2 times 2, which is 4. Then we need to do this one. So if you can see, we've already times it by 2. So if we times it by 20, we just take this number, and we times it by, that's it, 10. 460. Then we need to do what? Add those two together, which will give us 460. Add 46, which will give us 6, 10 and a 5, so 506. And there is your answer. Let's have a look at another one. We've got 132 times by 14. So we write it out again. Except this time we've obviously got a 3-digit times by a 2-digit. So we do this one first. So 4 times 2, which is 8. 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times 1, which is 4. Add 1, which is 5. So that one's 528. Now the next one, we've got this one. So times in by 10. So we times it by 10, then we do exactly the same, add them all together, so we've got 8, 2 add 2, which is 4, 5 add 3, which is 8, and 1, so 1848. Let's have a look at this one. We've got 132 times by 22. I'm going to show you a little trick. So first of all, I'll write it out. 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 times 3, which is 6. 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, we've got this number, 132 times by 20. Because that's not a 2, is it? Because it's in the tens column, so you need to make sure you times it by 20. So 20 is 10 times 2, isn't it? So why don't we times it by 10 first, then times it by 2? So first of all, we could times it by 10 by just putting a 0 there. Now all we need to do is times these numbers by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3, which is 6, 2 times 1, which is 2, and then add those two together. You can see how much quicker that was. So your answer would be, let's quickly write these down. We've got a 4, we've got a 10, we've got 6, add 2 is 8, add 1 is 9, take the 2 on, so your answer would be 2,904. Okay, so as you can see, I've put some questions down. We've got 78 times by 13, we've got 572 times by 17, and we've got 1,362 times by 24. So as you can see, they're slowly getting harder. If you just want to have a go at this one first, the 2-digit times 2-digit, to practice your method, and then have a go at these ones later, this one is your big challenge at the bottom. Right, let's have a go at the first one then. So we've got 78 times by 13. Do 8 times 3 first, which will give us 24. Then you need to do 3 times 70, so 3 times 7, which is 21. Add 2, which is 23. And that will give us 234. Now we do 78 times by 10, which will give us 780. And then add those two together. So let's do it up here so you can see it. 4 add 780. 4 add nothing, which will give us 4. 8 add 3, which will give us 11. And 7 add 2 add 1, which gives us 10. So the first one, your answer, is 1014. Let's have a look at the next one. 572 times by 17. So we've got 7 times 2 first, which is 14. 7 times 7, which is 49, add 1, which is 50. Then 7 times 5, because 7 times 500, which will give us 3,500. Add 5, which will give us 40. So there is your answer to that one. Then we're doing 572 times by 10, which will give us 5,720. Add those two together, so you've got 4. 0 add 2 is 2, 0 add 7 is 7. 5 add 4, which is 9, so your answer is 9,724. Let's have a go at the hard one. 1362 times by 24. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 60, 4 times 6 is 24. Put your 4 there, put your 2 there. Notice it's all still lined up. 4 times 3, which is 12. Add 2 is 14 again. And then 4 times 1 is 4, add 1 is 5. So your answer to the first one is 5,448. Then you need to do this number times by 20, okay? It's not just times by 2, it's times by 20. An easy way you can do this is just put your 0 straight there. So now you're just timesing it by 2, because you've already times it by 10. So 2 times 2 is 4. Notice it's a column upwards because it's times by 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6, add 1 is 7. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Add all that together, you've got 8, 8, 6, 12, and 3. So your answer is 32,688.